This district is situated in western Uganda at the border with the Democratic Republic of Congo. It was first named Rwenzori District in 1974 by former President Idi Amin Dada in an effort to ease ethnically aligned tensions between the Bakonzo and the Batoro populations over resource distribution. Originally part of the administrative unit based on the larger part of Toro Kingdom, the region has been divided and subdivided in such that it now comprises the 5 districts of Kasese, Bundebujo, Kabarole, Kyenjojo, and Kamwenge. Historically, part of this kingdom was a region called Basongora that was inhabited by Basongora people, divided in various counties.
Kasoga was taking even Kasese Mohoja, that is one county. And Kisaka was taking Nyakatonsi, Bwera, you know Bwera? Okay, all those mountains and down. The band was Katwe and something like that. Then Katwe was also a county. Then Kazinga, that is beyond Kazinga Channel. That is Bunyaruguru. It is now formally, they call it Bunyaruguru. It was Kazinga by then. That 1970s, 19 something. No, 70s, 1700 something. It was Kazinga. It was not Bunyaruguru. And Bunyaruguru was not there actually by then. Then we had another there in Congo. Makara was a county. Bugaya was a county. Those counties were left in Congo. So that is Songora. It had one queen. It's called Kogeri, Ikamero.
The Bakonzo people who occupied the Rwenzori mountain region, they also have their interesting history about their origin.
Bakonzo came from Buganda. After they had killed the son of Kabale of Mucho of Swa, because they were working on the Lake Victoria, constructing boats. So one time Chua asked them to take his brother across the water. So they made with the, how do we call it, I don't know, Ibumba.
Huh? Clay.
Clay. They made a boat made up of clay.
Then after reaching in the middle, it made the person dead. Then from there, the Chua decided to kill them.
And they ran around.
They ran out from there, coming this way. That was 1796, like that. So after reaching here, they went straight, the small one who came from Buganda. By that time, they were called Bakunza. They were, as you know, the language the language cannot be in the same category, so that we call them Bakonzo. So the word created, the word Bakonzo started. Then they went in the mountain, not here, down on the mountain. So that's why they came there, that's how they came here.
A number of different ethnic groups have lived in the region, differing in their rival manner of their livelihood and the nature of their social and political structures. The Toro Kingdom was characterized with social and political dominance of Batoro over the Bakonzo and other groups, a phenomenon that continued until under the British colonial rule. This is part of Queen Elizabeth National Park, which is 1,970 square kilometers of open savanna land, stretches from the foothills of Rwenzori Mountains in the north to the shores of Lake Edward and Ishasha River in the south, bordering the districts of Kasese, Rukunjiri, Kamwenge, Bushenyi, and Kanungu before it became a national park. The area was occupied by the Basongora people who freely grazed their cattle, but circumstances forced them to leave the area.
Was the various disease outbreaks that had devastated their livestock and also devastated the wildlife. And because at that time the population of people was low and there are still large expanse of areas free of habitation, free of cultivation. The Basongora were able to continue to move in different parts of the area and graze their livestock and move whenever the pasture is reduced.
However, the Basongora have a different version of the story regarding their exodus. 80 years Joyce Riensha lives on the slopes of Mount Rwenzori. She was born and raised in this area, in a place called Nyakatonzi. She says that the colonial sinister plans to take their area was the cause of the initial exit.
Ente zafu zetu mzungu.
Umzungu akaziita
yazitamwe mbazi, yasanga ziri kunywera yatamwe mbazi. Abokuba entezi ikamutanga kuhingurana bakora urugudo kuhingurana rutaha bwera. Zari nisetuka zamutangira umuhanda zahita zamukaga intezi nihingura yagenda ubu yari yagenzera intezi zafu.
In 1952, the colonial government decided to have the area gazetted into a national park.
When the area was now teeming with wildlife, and at the same time sedentary agriculture was happening in most of these places, the governments of the time decided to gazette part of that area as a Queen Elizabeth National Park.
In 1954, when Queen Elizabeth of the United Kingdom visited Uganda, the park officially was renamed Queen Elizabeth National Park. 64-year Samson Mugarura is a native who was born and raised in Muhokia, a village within the national park area. He was 13 years at the time.
It was opened, which was launched officially by the Queen herself. So it started, the law started governing, we started working under the national park bylaw.
We started to suffer actually, because we are not allowed to graze in that land where the park has already surveyed. You are not allowed. If you are caught there, you have to be taken to court right away. There's no question. Right. People suffered, some of them suffered here. Their cows died here. The remaining of us starting to fish on the lake there. Others immigrated to Congo, to Buganda, to Ankole, with 1 cow, 2 cows, like that.
This resulted into creation of small enclaves in the park to accommodate those who could not go away. Today, the population of Basongora living in Kasese and neighboring areas is estimated to be slightly over 23,000 people. When one drives from Kasese town along Barra-Kasese Road, to the left of the road is the national park. To the right is land owned by individuals. As you drive on, you will suddenly arrive in a small village of Muhokia, carved out of the national park. It is inhabited of another tribe of the Banyabindi and a few Basongora. As you drive on along the same road, you find another village of Hamkungu, also inhabited by Basongora, many of whom opted and resorted to fishing, while others own a few animals and have kept grazing in the demarcated areas. Today, the village has a population of 3,000 people. To the northwest of the park is Katwe Enclave, inhabited by various tribes, the Bakonzo and the Banyabindi, whose main preoccupation is salt mining. To the north peripheries is Nyakatonzi. This is probably the largest chunk of the land that was carved out of the park for the Basongora. To make the matter worse, after independence in 1962, the government of Uganda institutionalized much of the remaining land that was occupied by the Basongora for projects such as Mubuku Irrigation Scheme, Ibuga Prisons Farm, and the current UPDF farm. Escalating tension groups peaked in 1962 with the formation of the Rwenzururu movement. The rebellion was started by Bakonzo and Bamba seeking redress for their perceived oppression and particularly their limited access to jobs and resources and under-representation in battle-led government. The Rwenzururu movement ended in 1983 with the subdivision of Greater Toro along ethnic lines. Presently, Kasese district is populated primarily by three major ethnic groups: the Bakonzo, the Basongora, and the Banyabindi. The Bakonzo comprise of ethnic majority in the district are primarily agriculturalists who have gradually moved from the Rwenzori mountains down into the plains in order to have better services and to the land. This movement has brought them into conflicts with the Basongora traditional pastoralists, who use the land communally to graze their cattle. The third group, the Banyabindi, are less free in their livelihood, as the community comprises both the cattle keepers and cultivators. 70-year Muze Bakale Wakoli lives in Hima, another area inhabited by a mixture of Bakonzo and Basongora. He is a respected Musongora elder who attributes the ethnic conflict to competition over limited resources.
We had no tension in the past, but this tension came as a result of struggling for land. Each tribe is struggling to get land. So that is the conflict I know. Otherwise, originally we would not have any conflict, because the Bakonzo were settling on the mountains, while Basongora were settling on the plains. Those were Bakonzo were cultivators, while Basongora are cattle keepers.
The Basongora further believed that this tension generated fertile grounds for political mobilization of ethnicity and potential for further conflicts. This is Bigando, a small village in Hima, located in the land that was offered to the Ministry of Defense. Originally, this area belonged to the Basongora pastoralists before it was institutionalized. Part of it is currently occupied by Bakonzo. Some Basongora have been edged out, left and went to Congo to look for larger pasture land for their animals. Part of it was later given to the Bakonzo youth who were picked from the mountains and brought here. According to Mohamed Kibolio, the LC1 chairman, there are 892 residents occupying 2,000 acres piece of land. This land was given to them by the army.
Nyoke nyine bakamereza map ku rugamba parliament. Amahe nuga indetere map ku rugamba bombo headquarter. Kajindetera hano bagamba chairman. Abarandesi government nitekereza kohereza itaka igitengo mibiri kusabira hari amahe. Itaka liona ya amahe kabari igitengo mibiri rukagana sanju. Amahe gasaraho rukagana sanju ntategagari saraho. Hakasigara igitengo mibiri.
The Basongora believed that the move was aimed at uprooting and dismissing them from the area so that it can be occupied by the Bakonzo.
Katonda's revelation was he was given a mandate, he was given a task: wake up, go and recruit the youth from all over the district, all the 20 sub-counties on the mountainside. And he said that he was only able to bring down 750. Now that was in 1988. To do what? He said, no, we wanted them not to go to the rebels. But how do you now imagine that there are 1,000 youth who are going to the rebels when the rebels have not come for them? You go to look for them, you get 750. You come down, you give them guns, you give them tractors, you tell them to go and destroy people's homesteads. They destroyed the homesteads in Ukangara, they destroyed the homesteads in Wanka.
omuntu ari hanuya akaruga mu rusozi habwe paka mu rusozi bakasarayo paka abantu baburaho gukora ki kukuza icya kabiri abantu bakaruga mu rusozi habwe ndaro ya ADF niko kurora abantu buri muntu wene yetaganira ukorora ngo nakora ki mbona tutinaho kuza buri muntu wene na aino kwisugurikanira naganira na bamani bamuhara free.
The few Basongora who remained grazing in the area could not get along well with the new group of youth who had been brought here by 2004. The conflict turned violent, and Basongora, having been the minority, suffered most. Christopher Ndahura is a resident and a local chief of the area that was occupied by the Basongora.
They reached up to my house like this. I'm the chairman of that place, neighboring Uganda. So, as they reached me, I had to stop those people who came to do what? To clear the land. After chasing them back to go back, they went back and came in a gang. They started with my house burning. Burnt my house, my brothers. They reached a certain man also is around here. They cut him with arm like this, like 3 times I think. So the violence broke. After breaking that thing, we had to also defend ourselves. What survived, what were destroyed.
What the Basongora believed to be work of the radicals in the execution of their hidden programs of ethnic cleansing. Cows were cut, infrastructure destroyed, and homes torched, and some people critically injured. The Basongora are convinced that this deep tank in Bukangara was deliberately destroyed to wipe out evidence of having lived here. This makes them believe it was politically motivated. Richard Kandole Mulindwa, his hand was cut in the conflict. He believes that his assailant was protected by the big shots.
Bakamuragira ngo bamukwate tubamukwata nataka kwatwaga musango gwaje ha police gwabura haje timu yarga Kampala ngo musango yitwa gumana bajibyamara timu yagira Kampala bagenda bamukwata bamuleta bamutama mu kihome uno timu yamazire kugenda bamurekora.
But Kibolio rubbishes his claims.
Ebinebe suba tina police tina mahe hata bamulisa ne bachi nyondi chairman police hanuya namahe gare hari namahe gare hari hata bamilisi abeze gukora ki ebinebe shuba byabashongo.
Timothy Basi, Television here in the capital, Kampala.